Okay, we are live. How you doing, Christina?
Good. How are you?
Good, very good.
Nice.
So we're here to let people know what is the Photoshop Virtual Summit 3. So this is the third one already. Pretty
I
good.
know. It's crazy.
Excellent. Were you in the second one?
Yeah, I've
Yep.
actually been part of it's an honor. I've been part of all of them.
Excellent.
Yeah. So
First,
all three of the Photoshop ones and the Lightroom one.
nice. Excellent. Cool.
It's just what it's such a wild opportunity for people to be able to learn for an entire week for, next to nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And
You
so
know?
many people in the industry are presenting teachings, so that's
Right.
great. So
Yeah.
before we jump into things, just want to first say welcome. But
Yeah,
where's
welcome.
where's everyone watching from? Let us know in the comments underneath the live videos. And as I always say, please give StreamYard permission to show your name and profile pic. So I'll be able to credit you when you make comments or have questions. That's the link under the live, streamyard.com/Facebook. Just click that, give permissions, jump back
Yeah,
in the
because we
room.
can't see who you are unless you give the
Right,
permission to StreamYard.
right, because it looks like this Facebook user. But thanks for being here all the way from Switzerland. Nice. We got someone
St.
from
Louis. I've been to St. Louis a couple of times. I'm going there in November. I'm going to be speaking uh, at Sal Sincotta's Glitch, which is a
nice,
virtual conference. So I'm flying to St. Louis, but then it's going to be
nice,
beamed out.
cool. And then we got
Yeah.
Bobby from New Orleans.
New Orleans. I want to go there so bad.
Became friends with Bobby on that Clubhouse app.
Oh,
So,
cool.
yeah, I got introduced to a bunch of photographers and digital artists there. I was into it for like the first month or two, and then I kind of got burnt out on it. But met some good people. Yeah, and we got
Hey.
Stuart from Scotland. Great.
Yeah, Moldova, Malaysia.
Moldova, Natalia from Moldova, and Victor from Malaysia. Great. Great to see everyone here. Nice. Quite the international
Yeah.
attendance today.
And that's the good thing about the Photoshop Virtual Summit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You can watch it all over the world. So,
Exactly.
so yeah. So let's see. Just once again, let me remind everyone. Let us know where you're watching from. And once again, please give StreamYard permission to show your name and profile pic so we'll be able to credit you when you comment or ask questions.
Yeah,
And
this is going to be a very like very very casual session today. I'm going to just kind of dive deep into the layers of some of my composite images that I've done of
cool.
my daughter that I did during the pandemic. Maybe I can bring up like one that's like wildly easy and um,
Sure.
you guys can all do it at home, whether you have uh, an animal, a pet, or you
Sweet.
know, or something like that, and then we'll do a more advanced one, and I'll dive in and show you guys all the layers and
Cool.
everything.
With that being said, it sounds like we got a lot to do. So why don't you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what you will be presenting at the Photoshop Virtual Summit as well.
Hi guys, I'm Christina Sherk. I am a professional retoucher and photographer out of Maryland, so right outside of Washington D.C. And uh, for this Photoshop Virtual Summit, I have done a course on the top 3 things that portrait photographers need to know how to do in Photoshop because it's super important. And also, well, and that's basically anybody that shoots people, photographs people. And then the other class is beginner mistakes that photographers make and how to fix them in Photoshop. So there's going to be 2 courses, and they're both 45 minutes long. And for the first 48 hours after a class is debuted, they're actually free. So anyone can watch and learn, and they stay free not for 24 hours, but for 48 hours after they launch, so that you can get so that no matter what time zone you're in, you're able to watch them for free anywhere in the world. which is great because we have so many international people here with us today. And then you will lose access if you haven't watched them within the first 48 hours from when a course is released, unless you buy the VIP pass. And there is, I think 48 more. I just sent an email out to my email list that there is 48 hours left of uh,
Early
being
bird.
able to buy that VIP course or the VIP package for $99. And I think the value when you add everything up is like $2,400 or something wild like that. So
Right. I mean,
it's a
there's like,
very good value.
what is it, like 20 presenters, 5 days? I mean, it's quite generous, really.
Yeah, and 30 hours of
Okay.
education.
And we got Daniel saying hello again. And now you should see my name. It's Daniel from Switzerland. Yeah. I like the
Great.
little I am Nikon
Nice.
caricature. Yeah.
I won't hold it against him.
That's right. We got Canon, Nikon, Sony users in the groups.
Cool.
So great. Do you want to share your screen and show some of
Yeah,
your work? And
absolutely. So we're going to talk a little bit about a couple composites that I've done. I'm just snuggling in because,
sure.
it's the weekend and I got one baby napping and the other baby's with
Cute.
grandma. So that's very
Sweet.
exciting. So I'm going to just be a little cash and we're
Sure.
just going to all chill. I'll answer any questions you might have, anything like that. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. And
I
let's
think you
see.
clicked it off though.
Oh,
So you might have to
share
hit share at the
screen.
bottom again. And
Okay.
it's pretty quick though.
Um, ah, what am I doing here?
Hit share at the bottom and then
I,
share screen, navigate to.
there's Chrome. Okay, so share.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going
go
to
ahead
add
and
it to the
hide this.
screen.
Ah, there we go.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm going to make it full screen so people can see details. Is that good?
Yes, perfect.
Great. Yeah, I can see Photoshop and some folder.
And yeah, I'm pulling out my core and toddler um, composite because it's super easy. And I want
Right.
to start with an easy one and then I want to go into a harder one. So give me a sec.
And this is similar stuff that you'll be showing at the Photoshop Virtual Summit, correct?
I'm going to be speaking on something different for those.
Sure.
This stuff is more about just like the creative process and
Sure.
what you were able to kind of accomplish. And when you turn the camera on your own family, um, like what, you know,
Sounds good.
what can you really do?
You have to do a Halloween theme soon for the family.
Yes. So Nash is going to be a scuba diver, and I'm going to have him. Uh,
I'm going to pop up the StreamYard Halloween logo
yeah,
on the top right for a little bit. There we go. Getting the mood, everybody. Halloween is coming.
yeah,
Great.
heck yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and find that. Give me
Sure.
1 second.
And did you see the video that they released showing I believe it's coming to both Adobe Camera Raw and Lightroom, the um, the new masking feature.
Yes,
So especially in Lightroom, that's going to be quite a dramatic change. It looks pretty good.
I haven't seen it in Lightroom. Tell me a little bit about what it is.
Yeah, it's just I think it's
I've seen the auto mask in Photoshop.
right. It's the same type of thing where it's you'll be able to kind of have a subject and then you'll click on the like button for auto masking and then it isolates the subject very quickly, very easily. And then you can even select inverse if you wanted to then darken the background. It's just instead of having to take the brush and painting that mask, it's going to be AI quick fix to get a simple mask working.
Yes. It's going to be really exciting. Why am I having such trouble finding this?
What's it called?
I'm not exactly sure.
Uh-oh. That's why
Library
you're
composite.
having a hard time
You know
finding.
what? I think yeah, okay, I named it the wrong thing. That's why.
Self-part.
So, okay, so I have a movie here, which
Okay, great.
is the time-lapse
Cool.
photography of me setting up the shoot. And so if you look right here, you can see that my husband's helping just a little bit. But what we're
Great.
doing is the camera's here, right? And I'm just using window light, super simple. And right behind my hand here is my phone. Okay.
Mm.
And what the phone is doing is I'm actually using the camera Canon Connect app, and
Oh.
I'm actually doing the shutter.
Oh, that's
Okay.
great. Yeah.
So I'm trying to stay as still as possible while my daughter is running around doing a bunch of other stuff. And then I'm just taking a bunch of shots using the phone. Okay. So that's how I
Correct.
kind of captured them and did everything like that. And then so here are all of the files and stuff that I captured. And then I'm
Mhm.
merging them into one Photoshop document. So from Lightroom, what I've done is I've chosen open as layers in Photoshop with all of these different frames that you see behind. And so I'm opening them all up as in one Photoshop document as different layers. And then Photoshop is going to just put them on top of one another. And because I shot them all with I'm shooting with the phone.
Right. Cool.
Because I shot all of them on a tripod, I'm going to stay in the same
Sweet.
place. And I'm gonna have all of these additional shots of my daughter doing random stuff around me.
Sweet.
Yeah, she did a good job. Okay, so now I have all of the layers here. See them down here in the
Yep.
bottom? And so what I'm doing is just labeling like which ones they are. And the whole time I tried to stay very, very still, as still as possible. And just trying to label which ones these are, because then I'm just going to take, and this auto mask, this new masking that's going to come out, it would have been very, very helpful for me while doing these, right? Um, because it was quite helpful with just masking the person out. But because I shot them all um, on a tripod, the masking portion of this is going to be wildly, wildly simple. Okay. And I just added that in there because I was shooting with Canon Camera Connect.
Mhm.
So I did take a plate image of the background, which is important for everybody to think about. Whenever you are doing a composite or something like this, it's very important to get a shot of nothing, right? Of just the background,
Right.
because it's going to make your life easier. Because otherwise, if you have an area where you have to recreate the background, that's going to just take a lot longer and it's going to be much more of a mess. And so, what I'm doing here is I'm using um, difference blend mode to line up some of my layers. See that right there?
Hmm.
So, anywhere where you see non-black, anywhere where you see non-black is going to be differences between the layer that you're using and the layer underneath it. So you can see how I'm standing in front of the door. I'm standing in front of the background, and so there's wild differences between the two. So you're going to see that, and it's going to show up bright. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
For difference blend mode. I think I was just trying to line up my plate file. So basically what I'm doing here is building up the images. And you can, if I look down here at the bottom, you can see that the masking, I'm going to try and zoom in. You guys tell me if your screen zooms in too. Do you see this? I'm
Right.
zoomed into my layers.
Sitting on left, candle, you can
Yeah.
see the layer titles even better. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see how messy that mask is, right? It didn't take me any time at all. The reason why I was able to do it so messy and so fast is because the camera's on a tripod and I'm trying to stay as still as possible. So those are the reasons why I was having such, such good luck with having to kind of blend these different layers together. So you can see as I mask her in the back, it really wasn't that hard to mask because
Lines up well.
yeah, exactly. So this is actually I think this might be sped up a little bit, but it's basically real time. That might be sped up a little bit.
That looks cool.
Maybe this is 2x. All right, so moving on, we're going to add another one. This is the only area where I had to actually do a detailed mask over
Right.
her.
Brush around the edge.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. All right, so I've added those two on that side. I'm going to add climbing the stairs. See how easy that mask was?
Yeah, nice. That's sweet.
I look tired. I named this image Quarren Toddler. And the reason why I had so much trouble finding it when I was looking for it was because I had this set as self-portrait, but it's not. So super easy. You can do this with your pets. You can do this if you have kids. You can do this, with a spouse. I think my husband and I did something similar to this when we were on our honeymoon. There were like variations of us all around the pool and stuff like that. It was super fun. It's definitely a cool, creative thing to do. And this really made, I think the advent of this image was because I just felt like every time I would turn around and see here, she was playing with my head and I didn't keep my head properly straight. So now I'm going to have to,
which is most likely impossible.
Right. Do some damage control and line up some of these files. So,
right. So you might have to do like a layer mask and then go back and select the one layer of the portrait and put that in front, right?
correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what I was doing there.
Gets the essence of that
Right.
restless toddler feel.
Yes. So here's one where she's on my knee. And I love that it says on my mug, it says not photoshopped.
Yeah, that's funny. And then Daniel's making a quick comment that he saw me in the Photoshop User magazine. Congratulations! I guess that's in reference to the I won the Guru Award for the Photoshop artistry.
Congratulations! No, I don't think there could have been anybody better for it to go to.
Yeah, well, I was there live a couple years ago, and I didn't win then, so I was frustrated with that. So it It was nice this year. It's quite nice.
Yeah. I can't wait till it's back in person.
Yeah, a lot of those things need to be. We got
Mhm.
Rose watching from New Zealand. Good to see you
Oh,
here,
hey,
Rose.
Rose.
Tatiana from Costa Rica.
Nice.
Yeah,
So here is our before and our after. Um,
there
I'm
we go.
seeing if I can add in another toddler, but I don't think I could. So,
That
let me
seems well
just
balanced.
yeah. So I made that into a D.
Not Photoshopio.
Yeah, because it's actually my favorite mug, but it actually has fallen off, you know.
Right,
Um,
right.
so I had to rebuild that D just a little bit, just using the warp
Using
tool.
Liquify, right?
Yeah, liquefy and just warping the layer.
Sure.
And just that's a little bit of a shadow that I added behind this toddler. So this is the beginning of my uh this was the beginning of my um my composites of my kids. So that was kind of where
If you hit
my
spacebar, then you get a
PSD
preview of that. Yeah, okay.
my PSD file's missing. Oh, I love it when my files aren't properly.
So Daniel says, Christina, when you were doing it, it looks so easy. You're awesome. I love your Kelby One trainings as well.
Oh, yay. Um, I love Kelby One. Yeah. They're excellent. Um, and they're so much fun. Such a cool community and family, and that's why I was just really hoping to have, you know, Photoshop World in person sometime soon.
It's
So
usually
here's
in
our beginning.
Florida and Vegas, right?
Yes, yes, Orlando and Vegas.
Yep.
So here's our beginning, and here is the final. This is what it felt like to go through quarantine with a
Yeah.
toddler. And then this was the beginning of kind of some of the composites that I've done, which are now starting to morph into um, really cool. They're starting to morph into um, an ABC book for my kids. I'm
Sure.
going to be making a an ABC book for them. So that was
Nice.
the easy one, and this is going to be the
Oh,
hard
that's
one that I
fun.
want to show you guys. This is the original. Um, wait a minute.
People love to do that where they show the elements with the white outline
Yes,
before, and then they show the after. That's big in the groups. Yeah.
yes, and they're so they're so good. So um, there is some wild talent in the group. So I'm
Photoshop and Lightroom, Photoshop and
right.
photography. Yeah.
Yes, in those groups for sure. I'm going to just turn on all of my layers so you guys can see the after and hide. Where is she? So let me just use auto select. I'm going to select that layer there if I can find it.
Might have to right click to get the contextual menu to choose which one. Sometimes, yeah, the dodge and burn layers on top. So yeah.
Original Reeve. See, I named it. The one thing that I named. Oh man.
This is why
There
everyone
we
else
go.
tells us that we always have to name our layers so we don't get lost.
Yes,
Right?
yes. I sometimes do that, sometimes not so much. So our before is this guy right
Right?
here, and the after, thankfully now, is that.
Cool.
So this one started as a sketch. I think that's important to know because, and the reason why it started as a sketch is because my friend Charlie is illuminating her face with the light that I knew was going to come from the cloud. So the importance of actually visualizing your images and sketching them out is going to help tremendously when it comes to the build and the construction. So this was I mean, that first one that I showed you was probably a 30-minute Photoshop job. This one was I think this one was 14 hours.
Wow.
14 or 16 hours. So let's show you the behind the scenes time lapse of the shoot first, and then, which is a video file. And then I'll show you the layers.
Cool.
So here we are getting ready. My son is just along for the ride. I tried to create the smoke by hand, or with an actual smoke bomb. You can see here. You see the smoke bomb? That did not work. You can
Because of the
see
wind?
how, yes, you can see how windy
Yeah.
it was. So that's okay. You know, you have to try these things to learn. And so what I realized was that I was going to just have to create the clouds using a custom Photoshop brush in Photoshop,
Mm.
and you know, that was going to be fine. So this was me just capturing all the elements, so her dress, you know, in the wind and stuff like that. And then Nash wanted to turn on the to get his photo taken, but I wasn't really paying much attention to him,
Right.
unfortunately, at the moment. But so there were all of the elements, and then I can get rid of this. This is the before shot, but like you said, there were quite a few elements. It was definitely some Frankensteining going on here. And you can see that by this is one image with her back leg. The front leg is a second, it's pulled from a second frame. Then this arm is pulled from a third frame. The umbrella I got from Adobe stock. The clouds were a downloadable custom cloud brush. The sky was a different frame. And then 7 was the background image, the plate image that I shot. And then I did add some like framing wheat peek through.
Mm.
And then I blurred that out. And so the final is that.
Cool. And for the light that's in the umbrella, did you have to kind of tweak that with the curves or different effects? Or
The light coming from here?
yeah, that's kind of a more kind of a blast of light for the
Yeah.
clouds there. Yeah.
Yeah, so I definitely changed the blend modes for those. So let me just pull this out so that we can see kind of what we're working with.
Hmm.
And I'm going to start with the background frame. Okay, background frame. So there is there is what I started with. And the reason why I think it's important for people to kind of just sit through and go through these files for somebody that's doing the kind of work that they want to do is because um, it, it's almost like too much to bite off when you see the final and then you see the before and you're like, well, there's no way. Like my frame looks like this, but her frame looks um like that. There's no way that I'm going to be able to get there. But you can get there, and it's very easy for you to get there. So this is, but in order to do that, you just have to see all the steps that have happened. All right, so that's kind of what I'm just kind of showing. I'm
Sure.
just taking the background, stretching it out a little bit from left to right, and then I'm doing some colorization to this to make it feel more like a warm, like a fall. I wanted it to feel more fall colory. Okay, so I did a hue saturation um, layer and played around, I think, with the greens. Let's see. What did I play around with? There we go.
I'm a big fan of that target adjustment tool where you can just kind of click on the image and it selects the color for you, and then you can tweak the saturation or the hue.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's these fly out menus are a little bit annoying
Yeah, like
sometimes.
channels. Right.
Yeah. Um, then I just did a little bit more cleanup of the background, added a little bit more sky,
Extended it, yeah.
and then did a gradient map. And I did a
Mm.
gradient map on, I'm gonna activate my mouse pose so that we can see. So I applied these colors, but I did it on a little bit of a different, I did it on a different blend mode. So I did it on soft light as my blend mode, and then I decreased the opacity of the layer to 54% so that it's not um, just those colors, right?
Sure.
But instead it's a little bit softer. And because of the change of the blend mode, it really helps to just keep it a little bit more realistic. The next thing I did was adding a moodier sky. And I did that. And then I added a smart filter to the sky. So I added noise to that smart filter. And then I did a blur um, to make the sky look less in focus, because I knew that this was a portrait and I knew I wanted Reeve to be the focal point, right? I wanted my daughter to be the focal point. So darkening just a little bit of the surrounding areas, and then added some blur as well to the foreground. You can see that's all it is on that layer. It's just a little bit of blur on the foreground. And then added my daughter. Well, let me go through the Frankenstein steps of my daughter first, but it's not going to be centered. So here is okay. So there is one frame, right? I added the back of her dress from another frame. This was the biggest part, was trying to get rid of my husband's hand holding her. So he's learning. He's learning how to the proper way to hold them for
Right.
composite work like
Because if
this.
it obstructs, then you have to do a bunch of retouching or something, right?
Yes. Yeah. So we added in that second leg from a different image. And then this is just darkening one of the rim lights just around the leg, because it was kind of pulling my eye away. And so we got so those are all the portions of her. And then I migrated her over and I put her in the middle. This is different glow. So we have some glow on the hair, and then we have some glow that is going to be shining from the umbrella. And then this is something that I kind of want to point out, because I didn't get the rim light that I would have liked on her arm, because I knew that the closer the element is to the person being to the light source, right? The
Right.
closer my arm is to the light source in the image, it's going to be brighter. So I needed to brighten up, and I needed to add an extreme rim light to her arm and stuff right here. So to do that, what I did was a really cool trick that I originally learned from Glenn Dewis, who's an exceptional Photoshop artist. But what he
And
did,
he's part of the Photoshop Virtual Summit as well, right?
he is,
Yep.
he is. So, so what I learned from him is to create a inner shadow or an inner highlight, or what is it called? An inner glow, I think. And you do that in the effects menu. So if I have this layer selected, I can go ahead and choose effects. I can choose inner glow, and then so it's a screen blend mode. And I know that this inner glow is going to happen around the person, right? The person that I have. Can you guys see the inner glow?
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, so what you can do, let's change the color and make it a little bit more of a, a glowy yellowish color. That might be a little too highly saturated. Let's do a little bit less. We've got the blend mode. We have, we can take down the opacity, and I brought the choke way up so that you guys could see it. But if I pull that all the way down, and then I increase the size of it, you can see that glow around her. Okay. And then
I
the
always
next,
wish that the slider for size was like blur, because it doesn't seem like size. It seems like it's like blur size.
totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it gets
Like,
softer. Yeah.
yeah.
Cool
And what
effect.
is choke? I mean, like, choke is such a
Yeah. Weird.
crazy weird term. Sometimes they just use the funniest terms for me personally, because I don't know what those things are. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and press OK, but this is the way that I teach too. So if I'm teaching and I don't understand a word, I'm gonna give you a better word and description and
Sure.
vocabulary for whatever that tool is. It doesn't matter what the actual name of the tool is. I want you to know, what
How it
to,
works. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So the thing that I learned from Glenn is to come down here and, oh my gosh, my computer is having a meltdown. Um,
Slowly zooming in.
yes,
Okay.
very slowly. So you can take this effect and you can choose to create a layer from the effect
Oh yeah. I
of the
remember.
layer.
Used to
Okay,
do that
so
with drop shadow. Yeah.
right, yeah. So you create a layer with this, and then you can add a mask to it. So we're going to hold down Option or Alt. Let me zoom out. Oy, excruciating.
Must be a big file, right?
It is.
3.12 gigabytes, right?
Yeah.
3 gigs.
Um, so what you can do is hold down Option or Alt. You can add a mask, which is going to hide it, but then you can brush it in,
Correct.
right? Oops, I'm using mixer brush. You can brush it in over the areas where you want the brightest area to be. So for me, I know that I want it to be around her hand and stuff. Um, and then I can lower the opacity though. But that's kind of what I was doing a lot when it came to these adjustments and stuff like that. So I'm adding curves around the edge. I'm adding all of those kinds of hue saturation, minor tweaks, increasing saturation, that kind of thing. Um, and that's going to allow me to make the illusion that the light source is coming from the umbrella. And the umbrella that I ended up using, I think that's Dodge and Burn. That's going to be my dodge and burn layer.
Mm.
So let's just look at the dodge and burn layer on normal blend mode so that you guys can see. And it's clipped to the layer of the girl. But you can see my dodge and burn colors are not white and black. They are dark purple and dark yellow, bright yellow. The reason for
So you
that,
do that on purpose. Yeah.
yeah. So the reason for that is because your highlights and shadows are going to their colors are going to change. And I knew that the light illuminating her was going to be a warm light, right? So I wanted the areas that were brighter to appear warmer, and I
Mm.
wanted the areas that were shadowed to appear darker and more like the shadow color. So just keep that in mind, that when you're dodging and burning, you don't have to dodge with just white and black. And in my on a previous Photoshop Virtual Summit, when I was speaking about dodge and burn and skin, I actually go in and show you how I create the custom dodge and burn colors that I use for
Nice.
dodging and burning. So
Right.
yeah, so and all of this stuff is free, right? The Photoshop Virtual Summit is free, so um, definitely worth watching. And then once you realize what's included, I know at that point you're going to kind of lose your mind and say, okay, I definitely need to invest in this because it's so much amazing content, that it's kind of a no-brainer to
Right. And I just wanted to once again remind people that this Monday, just 2 days away, October 4th at noon, special early bird price for the VIP pass ends, and the price will jump from just 99 to 149. So don't miss it. Make sure you sign up with that link that I have,
yeah,
and I'll
because
post it.
yeah, because you want to save that $50 for sure.
Yeah, and what happens is, you sign up for free, and it's great. It's a nice, wonderful offer for so many different presenters for 5 days. But reality steps in, and you have to do work on this for a client, or you have to do something with the family, and you're going to miss sessions. So
Totally.
having that VIP pass really helps.
Absolutely. It really does. And it's totally worth it. If you like, let's think about it. Like, it's 30 hours of presentation. Okay. So think about a price in your mind that you would pay for a 1 hour educational presentation
Right.
and multiply that times 30. And let's say you'd pay $50 to go spend, you know, uh, an hour learning from somebody, from an educator for, okay, I'm going to force quit the beta, which you will see more of at the end of October at Max. Okay. So $50 for a course. You're going to multiply that times 30 courses. That's $1,500, and you can get it for the next 48 hours. You can get it for $99. So,
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
It's very generous, really.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm building up the cloud. So, I started with just a stock image of a cloud, and then I used some custom Photoshop brushes
Mm,
to actually fill in those areas that I wanted to kind of look a little bit more um, full for the cloud, and then added some light rays, just a touch of light rays, and then again the umbrella that I was using during the shoot definitely did not work. So I just got a stock photo and
yeah.
added a little bit of shading.
Orange is a bit bright, right?
Yes, yeah, we were definitely going with a purple.
I think your
Um,
mail program needs to be
oh, go away.
turn that off.
Oh, right. So
Yeah,
we
now the purple umbrella, kind of reflects with her dress, so that's a nice balance.
correct. Um, and then so here's where I used kind of those cloud brushes. The custom brushes that you can download honestly from anywhere. There are a lot of them that are free on the internet, and they're totally um, game changers when it comes to doing work like this. I did an image. I did an underwater image of a girl wearing massive 5-foot wings, and I
Mm,
shot it underwater. You can see it on my Instagram. And we I had a terrible problem with darkening the background to the point where I would like it to be. And so what I did was I downloaded a bunch of feather custom brush sizes, custom brush shapes, and just redid the outline of the wings, and it worked
right.
beautifully. It was crazy.
Nice.
So I did some foreground wheat, and that was also using custom brushes. Okay, so you can get custom brushes for any size or any shape that you might want, and they are going to really, really, really help you to. Oh gosh, come on! I don't want to force quit.
You do have a lot open though.
I do. I'm
Microsoft
just going to
Word.
see if I can close some of these files instead. You can do it, computer. The next big purchase that I'm getting is a new computer. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah,
Maybe with, you
I
know,
was with Apple customer care recently where I had issues with my Finder,
Oh no. What
and they ended
happened?
up saying, you know, the weird glitches with what you're seeing, you really should just reinstall. Um, was it Adobe? Not Adobe. Apple Mac OS Big Sur. That's it. So I reinstalled Big Sur, and it's been fine ever since. I should
Oh,
knock on wood.
good. Yeah, knock on wood. Oh gosh. Let's force quit these.
Maybe messages 286 megabytes. Not Chrome though. Don't want to
Yeah,
jump out of
let's not do
StreamYard.
Chrome. Okay. All right. Let's hope that helps us a
Maybe
little bit.
Safari though. You could quit. So
Um,
unless you
yeah,
need it.
let's see if it pops up again. So again, using the wheat custom brush. Oh, come on, dude. Dude. Um, okay, I'm turning off. Right. Oh, yay. Sorry, guys.
What happened? What happened?
So it quit on me anyway.
Oh, it quit Photoshop. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, so you guys kind of saw the one that I did of her with the uh
Just switching to our view, but looks like you need to also connect your video. You're just
my video.
yeah, in StreamYard, kind of went back to like an icon.
Okay, I'm trying.
Could be any connected
But
to
you can
that.
still hear me, right?
Yeah, you sound great. You sound great.
Okay, good. So we're just going to look at Andrew's beautiful face for just a minute while I try and work on this. But yeah, so I think that while I'm doing these technical issues, what we can do is we can just talk about questions and see if there are any questions in the chat about, creating composites and thinking about like, where do we start? One of the biggest problems that I had with starting these composites was I knew that I had the skills to do them,
Mhm.
but my brain didn't really go there. So my biggest frustration with this was the creative thought process of how do I'm trying to click on this start cam and it's not working. So I'm
Right,
just
right.
gonna continue. We've got like 8 minutes left. So what I want to do is just talk about questions.
Maybe I should switch over to the this view,
Yeah,
and
there
then
we
we could
go.
just talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So and if it comes back on,
I
I
thought
will
it
let
was
you know. Oh, I know. It's trying to go to my webcam utility.
right.
So let me go to camera and mic settings. Camera. Yeah, it's not even giving me the options um, for my webcam. So there's something freaking out about my computer. But
Sure.
let's just talk about questions specifically about like where do you pull your creativity from? What do you like? What Instagram accounts are you following? Are you looking through the Photoshop and Lightroom Facebook group? Are you finding inspiration from images that are in there? Um, that kind of thing. So I'm open to asking question or answering questions if anybody has them technically or whatever, or if you just want to talk a little bit about, um,
Right. So, any questions or comments? Let us know. Um,
yep.
Daniel asks, um, what computer do you use for your professional work? And what about external monitor?
So have, this is actually my work computer. I kitted out um, a, a MacBook Pro a couple years ago. This is exactly why I need a new one right now. But what I need, especially with all the travel and the work that I do and being able to access the things that I'm working on, I need to be working off a primary laptop. But what I have is BenQ monitors that I
Nice.
do my calibrated work on. So um, they work beautifully together. And then I use the i1 profiler to calibrate my screens. And the nice thing about the I1 Profiler is that it allows you to take a reading of the light in the room that you're working on.
Excellent.
So yeah, I'm trying to see if it's still
No, I get
only
it.
giving
I know
me
it's a little strange, but it's fine.
the EOS Canon webcam, which is not even connected, so I don't even know why it's an option. But that's been happening a couple of times lately for me. But yeah, do we have any
Any
other?
questions, let us know in the comments. Otherwise, let me remind everyone. So once again, the Photoshop Virtual Summit is coming this Monday, October 4th. It's free to register. Registration is open now. It's at bit.ly Photoshop Virtual Summit 3, which is also direct, which you could just click on the screen, but you can't.
That would be so cool.
But do know that on Monday, October 4th at noon, the special early bird price for the VIP pass ends. So the price will jump from just $99 to $149. So don't miss it. There's 20 presenters for 5 days. It's an amazing deal. Even at $149, it's a great deal. But bit.ly Photoshop Virtual Summit 3. And let's see, there is Victor
question about the Zoom.
Yeah. How do you enlarge the workspace box where you have all your layers and layer
I
masks?
think what he's talking about.
I think when you zoomed in, that's all. Yeah.
I'm going to try and share my screen again.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so what you can do is in the, and this is Mac specific. So in system preferences, you have the option for, let's see, come on.
So coming up.
What?
There it is. Yep.
Okay, so in accessibility, I think, and this is something that I use for teaching quite a bit, and I highly recommend it. And also, like, if you are, specifically dyslexic, like I am, or anything like that, and you're looking for an easy way to kind of zoom in, you have a zoom section here for accessibility, and you can see it's taking forever to zoom in, but it doesn't usually take forever. So what I've done is it's usually very fast. I think it just has to do with the fact that I need to restart my computer. But what I have set this up to do is to scroll, use scroll gesture with modifier keys to zoom, and you can zoom in anywhere on your screen. So I've zoomed into my accessibility box, and I do that by holding down Control and scrolling with 2 fingers up. But you have, different options. You can change the button, and that kind of thing. You can scroll with 3 fingers, I think.
And I've used the keyboard shortcuts to zoom too. I think it was like Command Option Plus or something, So
nice, yeah. But it's totally valuable. I will say that given the amount of teaching that I've been doing lately, one thing that I will just kind of make sure you guys know is that some screen capture programs do not capture it, but others do.
Right.
So it's not always going to work. That's when I have to pull out the Mouse Pose app, which allows you to highlight where your mouse is and stuff like that. And that one I use too. So we'll see if Photoshop reopens, but we are right at about at an hour. So I'll just show you one other one that I did with clouds in a library. And
we can go over your links a little bit. You can talk about the different.
Okay, good. Because, yeah, my computer has decided to literally implode.
It's, so once again, Photoshop Virtual Summit 3 is coming this Monday, October 4th through the 8th. It's free. Registration is open now. So bit.ly Photoshop Virtual Summit 3. And do remember that on Monday, October 4th at noon. The special early bird price for the VIP pass ends. Price will jump from only $99 to $149. 5 days, 20 presenters, instructors. Don't miss it. bit.ly Photoshop Virtual Summit 3. And to talk about Kristi. Kristi can, if you enjoyed these wonderful presentation that she did today, she also sells courses. And do you also have like presets, plugins, things like that on
Where
your
my
store?
computer works the whole time
That's right.
in my courses, yes.
So yeah, sharkpixel.com/store.
So on sharkpixel.com/store, there's actually over $300 worth of free downloads
Excellent.
that people can download, and that will help with your portrait retouching. I have custom eyelash brushes, custom iris brushes, custom eyebrow brushes. Everything in there is going to make your life easier. I've got PDFs of, how to do skin retouching. I have actions for skin retouching. I've got everything. So
Great.
definitely worth checking out and downloading all that free stuff.
And you can find Kristi on Facebook, facebook.com/sharkpixel. And updated, I would imagine you update video tutorials on there, sales, and then other new things that are coming out, and a listing of your events and conferences.
I do. The place that I'm most active on is definitely going to be Instagram.
And that is here. So instagram.com/shark_pixel. Yeah.
That's
So check Kristi out online. There's a lot of great stuff. And we have another comment from Daniel. He's saying the lineup of awesome instructors at the virtual summit is outstanding. Yeah, a lot of people you can even see in the graphic behind. A lot of great people in the industry. So Dave Cross, who's been with Kelby One and Photoshop World throughout many years, is the one who's pulled this together. And Kristi, we have Jesus Ramirez, who runs the Photoshop training channel. Bertrand Roy, who does wonderful hand done paintings of, like, say, Times Square in New York City, every little detail, every little bolt. Let's see, we got Aaron Nace from Flern, and Colin Smith from Photoshop Cafe, Lisa Carney, the retoucher, RC Concepcion, who also has been involved in the Photoshop world, Photoshop Kelby, Matt Kloskowski, Anya Anti, who does kind of fine art compositions. A lot of great
her
people.
stuff is mind blowing. Like if you like somebody that does creative compositing work and stuff, definitely check out Anya's.
Yeah. And then Glenn Dewis, as Kristi mentioned earlier, and Ben Wilmore, Corey Barker, a lot of great people. So yeah, once again, don't forget Photoshop Virtual Summit coming Monday, October 4th. bit.ly Photoshop Virtual Summit 3.
Yeah.
Here.
It's going to be exciting.
Yeah. So go there and see all the further information. And yeah, excellent. So let me just go back to here. Thanks, everyone, for attending today. Sorry that Kristi's visuals aren't here, but you can hear her. So thank you so much for doing this, Kristi. It was great. And
absolutely.
Thanks, everyone, for attending. And as I always say, I will be posting the recordings to the top of the groups. So look for the top pinned post. And in general, keep your eye on the top pinned post for any news, special deals, contests, live video events, etc. So look for the top pinned post in the groups, and I will be posting the recordings soon and giving that to Kristi to share as well. Thank you so much, Kristi, for being here.
Of course. Absolutely.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye, guys. See you on Monday, bright and early.
That's right.